How to understand that she's interested in your money and not in you? Katerina, let's talk about it.
It's a very interesting topic, and I think that it will be very useful for many men to understand it, because I think that subconsciously, pretty often men think about, gentlemen, they think about it. They're afraid of it because, of course, we all want to be chosen because of our qualities, because how good we are, about our personalities, about many different features, but not for our money. Any person, I think that even billionaires, first of all, they want to be chosen by a lady for their good qualities, and only after that about for their power and money. So it's a very interesting topic, but to discuss it and to understand this topic, we have to agree from the beginning that we have to be honest with ourselves. That first of all, if gentleman wants to understand if she's materialistic, if she's with him only for his money, he has to be ready to hear the answer yes. So if you're ready to be honest with yourself, if you're ready to analyze clearly everything that is happening with you, if you're ready to hear the truth, even if it is painful, it will be painful for you, then you have to think about it, and then you have to dig deeper and to understand what is happening between you and if she's really materialistic. So the lady, she can behave materialistically on the different stages of relationship. So from the very beginning of the relationship, she can show her materialistic intentions, or she can give you an opportunity to win her over, and after that she will show these qualities. So it depends.
Katerina, I like giving 2 examples because sometimes men say that, okay, I went with her out for like 2 dates, and she had lunch, I have paid for it, and we had dinner, I have paid for it, and after that she said no to a 3rd date with me. She is a scammer, she has used me, she has abused me, she is not decent, etc., etc. Well, in this case, I wouldn't claim that this woman is a bad person. She went out on 2 dates with you. She wanted to check if there can be a long-term chemistry, a potential of the 3rd date with you. For whatever reason, she has decided that you are not compatible, or she didn't feel physical interest, physical attraction. Numerous reasons. It doesn't mean that she is materialistic. Or for example, a woman who wants to start a family, who wants to have kids, she wants to date someone who has a stable job. She doesn't want to date someone who is unemployed, or someone who is creating a 5th startup without earning any money and lives with his parents. Can you claim that she is materialistic? You can tell that she is smart and she is realistic, because she lives in the real world, and she understands that if she wants to have kids and she doesn't want to be like a solo provider and a solo mom in the future, she is looking for someone who can contribute into the family. So we have defined from the very beginning, like being smart about money and about relationship. And right now we will talk about a scenario when a woman doesn't want to have a relationship, actually. Can you tell like the first or the first sign, like the red flag that she doesn't really want you, she wants your money? What is the most obvious sign that guys often don't see?
I would say that one of the first signs will be if the same scenario is repeating from time to time. So you have to understand that when person she's materialistic, when she wants to get your money in some way, it's very difficult to find like different behavior scenarios every time when she needs it. So the situation will be repeating. So you will see some signs in every situation when she is asking for your money. Some signs will always repeat. So you have some event or something is happening in your life, the exact thing, and after that she's asking for money. Her behavior is repeating. For example, she had a very bad mood. You were asking her what is happening, why you are so sad. From the beginning, she doesn't want to tell you because she's worrying about your mental health. So she doesn't want to tell you. Then after several questions, her mood doesn't become better. So you understand that you have to dig deeper and to understand what is happening with her. And only after that, she decides to tell you that, oh, to be honest, my situation at job is so bad. I don't know how to save money for this month, or something else. It's just an example. But you see this scenario that is happening, for example, several times a month, or I don't know, maybe several times a week even. So scenario is repeating, and you understand, like, you have this feeling of deja vu. So it has already happened with you, and her behavior, it already happened too. Of course, you want to explain to yourself that life is so difficult now. She is a very tender woman. I have to protect her. She's not guilty that it is happening. I have to be a knight to her, so I have to protect her. And she's asking for my help. It means that she loves me and she respects me. That's why she's asking for my help. But when you see this scenario of her behavior, of her actions that is repeating from time to time, you have to think that, of course, in real life, nothing happens absolutely the same every time. So conditions, they can be different. Words that people talk with us.
And you mean that every month something happens? So, for example, she loses her job, or she needs money for her education, or to pay her rent. So every month something happens, and every month something dramatic, and only you can save her.
Yes. So this scenario and her behavior in this situation is always repeating. For example, from the beginning, she doesn't want to say what is going wrong. Then you see that her behavior becomes worse and worse. And then she decides to open you the secret. So her behavior is also repeating, like this scenario.
I would say that a huge red flag is when, for example, you're together for, let's say, 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So it's hardly a relationship. You're just trying to get to know each other. So you're literally strangers. And she starts telling you things like, you're my man, you're so strong. And I like to feel myself as this little girl next to my man. And I'm your woman. And she's hardly your woman, because you know each other for like 3 weeks. So how many dates did you have in total? And she keeps throwing these phrases. And of course, usually she gives like lots of flattery that you are so strong. And for example, my ex, he didn't take care of me. Or for example, my ex, he left me with a child, or he left me with this trauma because he was not a real man, but you are a real man. So she keeps comparing you, and comparison is always in your favor. So you're always a real man, in her words. And usually, after like several days or several dates of flattery, the end result will be that she will tell you that, oh, you're my man, and for example, I have this problem, and I have a strong toothache, and I need, like, I don't have dental insurance, so I need $500 or $1,000 to fix my teeth. Or for example, oh, my car has broken and I really can't drive around, and you are my man, can you help me? And you start feeling that, well, you are her man, because for the last 3 weeks she was feeding you with this idea, and you jump in to play the knight in shining armors. When if you will think about a scenario when there is a lady who is actually interested in building a relationship, then she knows this guy for like 2 or 3 weeks, and for example, something happens with her tooth, she will hardly call a man she knows for 3 days. Maybe only to reschedule a date, to tell that, you know what, I have to see the dentist and I won't be feeling well, can we reschedule the date? But she won't be asking a stranger to go with her to the dentist or to give her money for a dentist. Most likely she will call her friends or her relatives, her family, for support, but not a stranger. Or for example, her car breaks, and she will most likely call a friend again, and not a guy she saw just 3 times, because we try to give the good first impression, and it is still an early stage. And to ask for such help, it is ridiculous. Of course, if, for example, you had a date and your car doesn't start, then every normal woman will watch how the guy reacts, whether he tries to call the service, to drive her, to stay with her till, for example, help comes. But again, if we are talking about a scenario when a woman wants a relationship with a man, she won't drag you into her health issues, like making her toes, repairing teeth, or etc. So when you start hearing things like "you are my man" and you know this woman for 3 weeks, she can call you her man when you have been dating and you are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. For example, you're her fiancé. Then of course she will be boasting around that you are her fiancé. But it won't happen after 3 weeks or even 2 months. That's too soon.
Mm-hmm. And also, I would say that a huge red flag is when she wants everything goes her way. So, for example, she's telling you that, oh, you know, I need a new bag because my bag is so old. I feel uncomfortable when I take it with me. And you say, and you want to make her present. I don't know. You have decided that it is like a hint for you to buy her something. But
Christmas is coming, for example, or Saint Valentine.
But she doesn't give you the opportunity to choose it. So she's sending you exact pictures, exact links on the bags that she has chosen herself. Again, if you're talking about this example with the tooth, you are offering her to go to your dentist, but no, she has already an appointment, or she wants to make an appointment at the exact clinic, and she wants to go there. Or for example, if she wants, I don't know, something has broken, her TV is broken, and for example, her child, he's so obsessed with the TV, and now he's so disappointed, but she doesn't give you an opportunity to choose it. She's sending you the exact link, or she's taking you to the exact shop. You want to buy her a beautiful dress. You have scheduled a beautiful evening or a date in the fancy restaurant. You want to go there together, and she's telling you that, oh, I'm sorry, but I don't have the right dress for such place. It's so fancy restaurant. I will appreciate it so much if you help me to choose the dress. And of course, again, you feel yourself like a strong man. Yes, I will help you. And she's taking you to the exact shop, and you see that she's chosen exact models. Of course, they will be one of the most expensive in this shop. So she wants everything, what is connected with money, she wants everything to go her way. So she doesn't give you an opportunity to make the present, to do a surprise, to choose it yourself, to help you in this choice. She doesn't give you this opportunity. She gives you the fact that she needs this bag, and these are the links where you or her can buy it. So it's also has to be a huge red flag, because you have to think if she really needs it, or she needs me to buy this exact item for her. So it also has to give you like the food for thinking, and to understand what are her intentions.
Also, if you're speaking about gifts, you have to keep in mind that very often men, and when we conduct consultations, and we run a matchmaking service, Diolli.com, and Katerina and myself, Svetlana Mukhar, we conduct interviews with our potential clients, and later on we work with our matchmaking clients and coaching clients, and we have been introducing singles since 2008. Diolli.com was founded in 2008, and we hear lots of stories. And sometimes men tell that, oh, I had this fantastic girlfriend. She was 26 and he's, for example, 50. And we were so in love, and I was renting an apartment for her because she was like getting her education, pursuing a modeling career, etc. And 2 years later, when I have asked her like to move in together and for her to marry me, she said no. So in this scenario, everything is obvious. So he's a sugar daddy for a much younger girl, and she might have been his daughter. And the only reason why she is with him, because, well, he pays for her apartment, and for example, he pays for luxury vacations and gives her extravagant gifts, and she exchanges her youth and beauty for these gifts and for her rent. And this situation, when we are speaking about sugar daddy and sugar baby, we are not discussing it right now. Of course, if you are looking for extreme age difference, like for example 15 years and up, And we have filmed a video about women in their 30s that they don't want to date men in their 50s. And there is lots of critique in the comments. Men were writing that every woman in her 30s should be happy if a man in his 50s would pay attention to her, and something about hitting the wall and all those nonsense. If you are in your 50s and you chase women in their 30s, and really, if you are 52 and she is 32, she might have been your daughter. So probably her parents are your age. Just live with this information. And she's asking for extravagant gifts. Well, she's aiming for sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship. And with such a big age difference, what else have you expected? So you have to be extremely careful if you choose such big extravagant age difference, because it is really big. Like everything bigger than 10 years, it's already tricky. But if you're talking about a situation when you both are, for example, in your 40s, for example, a man is 44 and he is never married, doesn't have kids, and she is 35 and she is never married, doesn't have children. So it's age appropriate. And for example, she schedules dates only at fancy places. So she doesn't want to go out with you, let's say for a walk or to have coffee, or for example, to go to the Christmas market or elsewhere. So she only wants to go to this restaurant, or she only wants to go to this bar, and all these places are pricey. Chances are high that she just wants to visit these places and she's not interested in you. Of course, if we are talking about a first date and you suggest to take her out for a walk like a dog, we will walk and have coffee. If you're talking about Slavic culture, most likely a woman will say no, because it is winter, and what it is, it's not even a date when you can't put on nice clothes and go and have coffee indoors. So if you don't want to spend much money for the first date, ask her out for coffee or ask her out for lunch, because lunches are usually cheaper than dinners are. And well, you won't buy alcohol most likely, or ask her out for brunch. So lots of things that you can choose instead of asking her out for a walk with coffee. You can do it as your date number 2 or 3. For example, having a walk and drinking coffee if weather permits. But if she wants to meet you only at fancy sushi places or fancy bars, then chances are high that she doesn't want you. She just wants to eat in those places, maybe to take some picture there.
I would say that in general, if we are talking about relationships with a huge age difference, first of all, we have to look for materialistic intentions there. So if you want to date a lady much, much younger than you are, so 15 plus years of age difference, you have to be ready and you have to be honest with yourself that there will be at least some materialistic intentions from her side, because she has to choose you for some reasons. And it's true that you
have to compensate for the age gap.
And also, I would say that it will be a red flag. How you can find, to be honest, a red flag? Pay attention to her lifestyle in general. So, of course, if you have met, she had some life before you, some life experience. She had maybe some relationships before you met. She has education, job, probably, and you have to check and to analyze if your lifestyle matches with your profession, education, everything. So, for example, if she is a teacher at school, but she got used to take a rest only at 5-star hotels on Maldives, she has a real
and her parents are also teachers, because there can be a scenario that she's from a wealthy family, and for example, her daddy pays for everything and she's a school teacher.
Yes, if you're talking about that she has a simple family of middle class, let's say, so he's not a billionaire, and you understand it, and her lifestyle, what she leads, is absolutely, it doesn't align with her job, with her profession, with her life experience. So she can put on real Chanel, Dior, Versace, so very famous brands, but you understand that her job can't let her buy such things.
And she's a nail technician, for example.
So her profession is so far from this world of expensive brands that she can't buy. That now it's very popular, this jewelry from Cartier and everything. Of course, there are fakes. There are fakes that people put on, but if you see that it is real, and it's easy to understand that it is real, and she tells you that yes, it was a gift for Christmas from one.
Katerina, I was thinking about a funny situation we had years ago. Our client, a lawyer from New York, so a very successful man, we have introduced him to our teacher, and she was an English teacher, maybe 10 years ago, and they went out, and she was all dressed in this fakes. So she had a Chanel purse, a Gucci dress, and all this jewelry, but it was all fake. And after this date, and they liked each other, and the man told that, you know what, she is too high maintenance. I can't afford dating her. And I have asked him, why do you think so? And he said that, look at the way she was dressed. It was like really expensive. And I've told him, like, Jeff, there is a huge Chinese market, and no, it was not real. And he was like, because he really liked her. And later on, when I had conversation with that woman, I told her that, you know what, he was turned off because he thought that you were too high maintenance, and all the clothes, and like she had all the logos. So it was this type of fakes when you have like huge logos everywhere. So she was all dressed in logos, and he couldn't tell the difference. And I had a conversation with her, and she really liked to have these brand names, but they have laughed about it later on. And I like this story because a lawyer from New York, a successful lawyer, thought he couldn't afford a Ukrainian English teacher because of the way she has portrayed herself. But again, when we are talking about age difference, I wanted to share another story. We have introduced, for example, a couple, and really the gentleman was in his early 50s, and the lady, she was only 35, but she was a financial director at a huge IT company. It was actually an international company, and she worked at Ukrainian branch, so she was very successful professionally and financially. So she went to, for example, Milano to buy herself clothes. And of course, for her, it was quite complicated to meet a man who was at the same level financially, and someone who shared her long-term goals, her values, her understanding about religion, about family. She wanted to have kids, like the lifestyle. And we have introduced our male client to her, and he was like smitten because she was like younger, successful, really smart. And I think that after that, she was his first introduction. You know whom I'm talking about. And he said that, no, I don't want to meet anyone else. And he was courting her like crazy. So he was sending her flowers, like a flower shop, which were our friends at the time. They loved him because they would send him like 3 types of roses, and he couldn't choose. So he was ordering all 3 types, and he would send to her office, to her house, then again to her office. So he was courting her in a really beautiful way, and they're happily married. They have a baby girl, so they had their daughter, I think 2 years during COVID. I think she moved to United States to be with him, and he owns 2 or 3 restaurants, and I think they have fired an accountant because she got an accounting license, and now she's doing all the accounting for the restaurants. So they're a beautiful couple. But again, he has met her through a matchmaker. And chances for him in his 50s to meet a woman who's 35 of this level, they were like really slim. And on his own, in the United States, he would never ever meet a woman who looks and has the education, had the personality, had the values of our female client. So he has paid us for the search, and it was a long process. Our managers, our psychologists, our matchmakers, we have conducted lots of interviews to pre-select that lady. For example, another case when we have introduced our male client, again from New York. He was a programmer, but a successful programmer. And we have introduced him to a lady. She was 12 years younger than he is. They have 3 kids now together. And she was also a chief accountant at a big company. She was 36 or 37 at the time, and he was 12 years older. And they're a beautiful couple. But again, for him to meet such a woman, like his chances to do it on his own, they were like almost non-existent. And we did lots of work to find this lady and to introduce him to this lady. So when men in their 50s court women or approach women in their 30s, let's say on Tinder, I would say that in 85% cases, or maybe in 90% cases, there will be lots of red flags that she only wants to have sushi at the fancy bar, or she wants the new iPhone, or she wants to go to Maldives. So these red flags that we are talking about right now, this is a very important topic. And if you are looking for a relationship with a significant age difference, it is better to invest into a matchmaker. But of course, you have to keep in mind that matchmakers are not magicians, and we can't make you out of thin air. And the amount of women who would be interested to date a man who is older, 10 plus years older, well, you can't say that there are many women like that. So it is important to keep this in mind. And also, both our clients about whom we are talking, they had the looks, so they looked really good for their age. So it was not like, it's not like we can take any man in their 50s and introduce him to a woman in her 30s. No. And more often we say no than yes when such people, such potential clients approach us.
And let's also pay attention to these two ladies from the last two stories. What are the chances that such ladies, such successful in their career ladies, can be really materialistic and choose men only because of materialistic intentions? Of course, they are too small, such chances, because this lady, she is successful herself. She doesn't need to prove her girlfriends, her relatives, friends that finally...
She doesn't need a man to survive. Yes, she wants to meet a man who is at her level because she leads a certain lifestyle. She likes traveling, she likes dining out, she likes certain hobbies and activities, and she wants to continue doing it in a relationship. And of course, for her to look for a man who can't afford such things, it will be a downfall of this relationship. If, for example, she wants to fly to France to ski and he can't afford it, and what do they need to do? She will have to pay for him, or how will it happen? She will go with her friends and leave him behind. So, of course, people think about money. It's naive to say that this woman, they were not thinking about money. But again, money was not a goal because they don't need a man to maintain the same lifestyle.
Money, of course, it's impossible to say that they don't play any part in relationship or in life. It's very childish to think like that, because of course nowadays, especially modern world, it requests the exact level of life if you want to live normal life, to visit new places, to travel, to open new things, new hobbies, new places. So of course it's important, but you always have to remember that the person who is next to you doesn't choose you to change her lifestyle at all. So, for example, if she couldn't afford anything in her life, she is looking for someone, she agrees to have huge age difference, everything, just to get a person to take her out of her lifestyle. It's one scenario. But and of course, this lady, she will be materialistic, and but you have to be honest with yourself if you want to choose such a lady or not. And of course, if you compensate the age difference, then you have to be ready that your materialistic intentions, they will take place in your relationship. She will
be the base of this relationship. So yeah, she is choosing you because of the things you can give her.
If you're choosing a lady and you want to be like more or less equal in your relationship, then it will be another type of lady whom you are choosing. And really, we are talking about these red flags to give you a chance not to lie to yourself, and to understand and to find this difference between such ladies. To find, if you understand that you want to date, for example, a lady who is much younger than you are, then you have to be ready and you have to accept the reality that she will have materialistic intentions and they will be a part of your relationship.
Katerina, I want to add one more red flag, and think about your red flag, and we will wrap this video up because it's getting quite long. And by the way, please write in the comments below if you find this topic interesting, because at the end we will film a part 2, because there are numerous red flags, and we can also film a video about green flag that she is not materialistic and healthily materialistic when it comes to her goals. The red flag that I want to mention is the fact that she keeps saying that age is just a number. She has written it in her dating profile. For example, you have texted her on Tinder, on Facebook, since like, oh, I'm 52, but I don't look my age. And she's, for example, 32. And she texts you something back like, oh, age is just a number. It's not logical. We interview women daily, and our psychologist, I think she has broken a record. She has interviewed over 100 people within 2 weeks, new database members. And of course, when we talk to women, when I conduct interviews or psychologists conduct interviews, and for example, we ask about the age group women want to date, usually women name their age. So if she's 30, she wants to date someone around her age, or plus 7 years. It's like, usually women like this age difference. For example, if she's 32, she's looking for someone up till 39 or up till 40. But if a woman tells me at the interview that, okay, I'm 32, but I'm looking for someone, age is just a number, and I don't care how old he is, usually the next sentences that she adds during the interview is, if he is wealthy, or if he lives, for example, in San Diego, or if he lives in Paris, then I don't care how old he is. So usually it comes with a catch when people speak about age. So if she tells you from the very beginning that age is just a number and she doesn't care, this is a red flag. Because so often we have convinced women to give an acquaintance a chance. For example, she is 15 years younger than our client, and we tell how accomplished our client is, how good looking, and we suggest her to go out on a date with him. Like this first date, it will be a time and place when she will test this age difference, whether she feels it or not. And sometimes after this date, unfortunately, we hear that, yes, Svetlana, he is smart and witty and accomplished, like you have described, but he is old. And I felt this 15 years and I didn't feel comfortable. Or for example, after the first date, she will tell that, I don't know, like I'm sure about the age difference, but we had fun and we talked. Maybe I will go out on a second date. She can honestly tell you that age difference is not important to her only after she gets to know a man well. So at least she goes out with him on 3 to 4 dates to test it. But if you have met for one date, or you haven't even met, you are just texting on Tinder and she already tells you that age is just a number, this is a huge signal. This is like a big red flag, like huge red flag, that she's there for something materialistic. She's there for money.
Yes, I totally agree with you about age difference, and in general, this topic that can be discussed for many hours and many videos. So yes, pay attention to it too. If she insists on the fact that age is just a number, it's a huge red flag. And also, I was thinking about the last red flag that I want to discuss today is about examples that she gives you. So she always tries to remind you that she has a girlfriend and her boyfriend gave you this present, or I'm working with a colleague and her husband presented her a new car on this holiday, or I have I had a boyfriend 2 years ago and he presented me a ring with a huge diamond. So she is always giving you examples how good it is somewhere, or it was somewhere.
She's comparing you.
Yes, she's comparing you, and she gives you in such a way, she gives you hints what she wants to see from you, and you will understand that, you will see it very clearly. So if her girlfriend, oh, see what beautiful earrings she has, it's her boyfriend presented her on Saint Valentine's Day, and you will see such examples. Definitely you will pay attention to them. You will feel that maybe she's expecting the same from me, and it's not like she said it one time or 2 times during months of your communication. No, she's repeating such examples. So she sees something in the shop and she says, oh, this is a bag, a friend of mine got this bag for International Women's Day, and she repeats such examples. So pay attention to them too. It's also a red flag. She's comparing you, and she's asking you to give her the same things too.
There is time and place for different levels of gifts. Of course, if she is your girlfriend, and for example, if your birthday is coming and she tells you that she wants these shoes, and you are together for over a year, it's not a red flag. If you have a solid, healthy relationship, or for example, she is your fiancée or your wife, and she playfully asks you to get her a new dress, go together and choose this dress. Especially it's fun when you choose a dress for her that you find attractive, because sometimes what women choose, what we believe is attractive and what men would like to see on us, it can be different. So it can be a fun adventure to go and to choose, for example, a dress and shoes for your girlfriend, for your fiancé, or for your wife, and then to take her out, which is also very important because she will need to show this dress off, so take her out after that. But if you have been out on 3 dates and she tells you that she wants this dress, it's not the time and the place for such gifts. Why is she asking for such a gift from a stranger? So don't do that. Of course, if she is 15 plus years younger, that's quite normal, I would say. You have met her on Tinder, she went out with a much older guy, and she expects a dress. And when men write that, oh, women are materialistic in the comments below, that I'm 52 and I went out with this woman who is 34 and she should be grateful that I paid attention to her because she's in her 30s and she has asked for a dress. What did you expect? That she will love you for your 52 years old soul and your 52 years old ass? Like, really? I expect critiques in the comments. But again, I believe that our audience mostly consists of smart men who choose smart dating. And we hope that you will pay attention to these red flags that we have discussed with Katerina. You will actually use it. If you are using Tinder or any other platform, be careful, especially when you try to date younger, when you try to date online. Look for these red flags and don't fall for them.
Yes, and we hope that you will see only green flags and you will choose your better halves really smartly.
If you choose the right women, yes, you will see lots of green flags. We will see you in the next one. Right now is the time to press like to this channel. Also, please consider becoming a sponsor and you will get access to extra videos that we are filming, especially for our sponsors. If you want to schedule a first free consultation with our matchmakers, you can send us an email to Katerina@Diolli.com or fill in the form by pressing the link below these videos. Also check out our podcast. There is also the link below these videos. Don't forget to subscribe because almost every day we share new shirts with practical dating tips and advice. And also we have, I think, about 700 videos with practical dating tips and advice at this channel. We wish you lots of love. Svetlana Muha, the founder and the leading director at Diolli.com, and Katerina Romanenko, our executive director. We will see you in the next one. Bye,
Goodbye.
guys.